Hey everybody, 10 Tip of a Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here on our Wednesday evening. My days have been off this week. Right from the top, let's get started. Tropical Storm Fiona has formed, and you can see it's this is 96L, right? It was yesterday a 40% chance of developing, 70% this morning. By 11 o'clock this morning, it was Tropical Depression 7, and by 9:45 tonight, it is now Tropical Storm Fiona. And that looks pretty decent. As you can see here, it's certainly kept its convection up throughout the day today. Zoom in here. By the way, it's located, it's about 2,000 miles from Tampa. Okay, so it's far off from us, but if you look at like Guadalupe, this thing's about 700 miles away. So the Windward Islands are going to get this Friday afternoon into the evening hours, and it looks like about 3 to 5 inches of rainfall is possible, somewhere upwards of 8 inches. And winds right now are at 50 miles per hour. So there's going to be some pretty good gusty winds coming through that area. Most of the winds at this particular time are back out here on the east side. There's quite a bit of wind shear that's kind of blowing in from the west-southwest like that on the top side of this. As a matter of fact, I can, let's plot that wind shear here for you real fast. Nope, don't give me that one. That one might kill me. This is what I want. See all that shear right there on the top of it? The blue that you're seeing there? And I got to be honest with you, when this thing treks to the west, that's not dying too much. So this is going to have an upward battle as it does move off towards the west the next couple of days. Here's the latest track from the Hurricane Center. Now, this is likely to get, well, this will get updated at 11 o'clock tonight. And what we'll be interested to see is what does this turn look like here? What does this intensity look like? Because look, 50-mile-per-hour winds now here, so this is going to change, right? And we're going to have 50, maybe even 55 towards the Windward Islands by the time we get into Friday afternoon. They won't do much to knock this thing down. Shear will try. I don't know how much that'll do it. By Saturday, San Juan, well, British Virgin Islands, Friday night, Saturday morning, BVI, U.S. Virgin Islands. Then you get Puerto Rico on Saturday, Hispaniola on Sunday. This is Sunday afternoon, and I'm kind of leading it a little bit here, but I want to give you a little bit of heads up time. And then it starts this turn. We're going to see an updated track. We're going to see an updated intensity forecast from them at 11 o'clock. Fiona is the next name on the list, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 name storms. This time last year, Nicholas had made landfall. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 14 storms. We've only had 6 so far this year, at least name storms. Okay, here's a look at the forecast models. And I'll show you a couple different versions of it here. You can see that basically we are looking at a lot of the models taking it off towards the west. All right, let me see if I can get this to work here for me. A lot of them are taking it off towards the west, and they're starting to weaken. Right, they're not seeing a whole lot to it, and as a result, it ends up not showing you a whole lot on there. Okay, and so what's happening now is basically you're going to see this thing come further back towards the west just a little bit. I think it still wants to turn. So let's do that. Let's talk about, let me get you over to the models here real fast to get the right thing. So these are the forecast models. Each one of those lines is a different model, right? And look at how many are seeing this turn skirting the north coast of Hispaniola, basically Dominican Republic, right? Okay, so that's that. Now let's take a look at the Gfs Ensembles. And these are actually starting to turn. It looks like a little bit more to the east, a little bit sooner of a turn, but certainly quite a bit of the runs of the GFS are seeing this turn, right? Very few are taking it further to the west. And the ones that do, these blue, light green, that's up in here. That's a very weak system. And in tropics, typically what happens is when you get a tropical system, a tropical wave moving west, it's trying to develop. If it develops, it tends to drift further north if it's developing. If it's not, if it's a very weak, unorganized system, it'll go further off towards the west. And you can clearly see that. I mean, look at these red lines here showing pressure of sub 980, right? And it turns it real fast. And the ones that are keeping it to the west are the ones that are very weak with it. So this all makes sense. This is the European ensembles, and the Europeans all over the place. The next several days through the weekend, it's straight on through towards Puerto Rico. I don't think PR can get out of it on this one. I don't think it's going to be terrible, but I do think 50-mile-per-hour winds at least, and some decent rain, it's called mudslides. there's going to be power outages. And, you know, if you're from PR, you have family there, they don't have the best grid there right now. So none of this is convenient for them. And then you see some of it on the European want to take it right across Cuba, which would really kind of eat it up with the high altitude mountains there. And then some of it kind of do come off to the north. So it's a little bit more widespread. I mean, look at the spread on the European, Central Gulf of Mexico to well east of the Turks and Caicos. So we got to kind of watch this one and see what it wants to do. Forecast models. This is the GFS. And here's the GFS. Let's go out to Sunday morning at sunrise right here. So there it is near Puerto Rico. Okay, now that's the center. It's got most of the rain just getting there because the rain is still sheared off, right? See how the center is right here over Puerto Rico, but look where all the green is. It's because of that wind shear that's going to be there. All right, so now let's go out to Monday sunset. It's over Hispaniola. Now here's the key. Watch Tuesday. Look at that low. It's still trying to form a low right over the Dominican Republic. And then by the time we get towards Wednesday sunrise of next week, so that's a week from today, right? Here it is in the afternoon, actually, the Turks and Caicos, right? But it's coming northwest at that point. And then look at this. By Thursday sunrise, here it is now east of the Bahamas. Friday sunrise, right there. See, it's trying to get rid of this high. It's got to go around this ridge. But here comes this big old front right here. See that big line? That's a front. That'll eventually pick it up. So this thing will kind of wobble a little bit. Latest GFS is getting pretty close to the Outer Banks by the time we get towards Friday night, Friday afternoon, and then takes it on out. Okay, that's going to change. Don't look at that far. You know, this area right in here, and we'll see. We don't know about that yet. This area right in here is pretty, you know, that's pretty positive. We're going to get something like that. Where's this turn take place, and what shape is it in is what we're going to be watching. All right, European forecast model. You can see it here. Very, very similar setup. This is Saturday morning systems right there over top. Let me get a little bit closer for you. I'm sorry. Let's make it a little bit easier for you to see. There's the system over Puerto Rico right there. Okay. Now, let's go out to Sunday afternoon. Dominican Republic. That is not fun for Dominican Republic. Not terrible. But that's quite a bit of rain there. Now, here's the turn. This is Monday afternoon. Look how it's moving north now. It's moving northwest, so it's north of the island. It's in the Turks and Caicos. Again, this is the European. Tuesday at sunset through the southern Bahamas, but mainly east of the northern Bahamas by Wednesday sunset. And then Thursday, it's trying to curve on out. It looks like it may want to get hung up underneath here and sit out here. If any of these happen, the East Coast is going to score some waves again. And Earl actually produced pretty decent waves. You know, pretty decent waves out there. So that's something that we'll be keeping a close eye on for you here. Now, take a look at this. This is another version of the GFS, the ensembles. See all these little L's right here? Let me come back up and give you a better view. All those L's right there. Here's where the model thinks the center can be. All these different locations, right? But you see they're pretty well grouped, and they're all pretty much going out. There's not very many back over here, and there's certainly nothing over by Florida. So you got that going for you, right? Let's go look at the European. I'll zoom in on this one again, too. And you can see, here we go, the European forecast model. There it is. All right, that's Saturday morning. And then there it is. This is Sunday night, Monday. It's making that turn to the north and the west. Quite a bit of the run thinking it's here. Look at all these. You see all that lower pressure right there? Each one of those could be in the center. That is the European model saying, yep, think it's going to turn as well, too. This is the GFS model saying, where are the best probabilities to see a tropical depression? And there it is. Here, you can see the turn too, right? So certainly the Windward Islands. Let's get in here. Let me do this. Certainly the Windward Islands. Okay. Now let's look at tropical storm probabilities, and that's obviously got to be going up because now we've got a tropical storm, right? We have Fiona. Let me see this a little bit better. We have Fiona. Now let's talk hurricane probabilities. Now, it tries to strengthen this as it turns to the north, so not necessarily as it's moving in towards the islands itself, okay? So that's good news, but certainly tropical storm force winds in the islands and some heavy rain. That's the GFS. Let's take a look at the European. Let me zoom you in here a little bit. You can see this is for tropical depression, the probability that we get a tropical depression type weather, winds essentially in this area. Well, we know right now we got a tropical storm on our hands. This is what it's saying here. So pretty high. That's better than 50% chance that we see tropical storm force conditions in the Northeast Islands, the Leeward Islands. So Antigua, St. Martin, Barbuda, I should say, not Barbados. Barbados is farther to the south. You should be fine there. But certainly Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, British Virgin Islands. And then now let's take a look at hurricane probabilities from the European ensembles, and there's just nothing there. So that's it. You know what? I wanted to show you where. Let me show you some of the pictures of it, because it's really good looking pictures from earlier today. Let's look at Fiona. It's coming up here, guys. Watch this thing from earlier today. Watch that. You can see the low level flow, a little low level center here, but look at this thing. It just keeps going, right? It just keeps going pretty well. Let's come back over here. Let me show you some of the things here. I want to show you back on the satellite up here. Small storm, right? Certainly a small storm, but pretty decent convection that we're seeing tonight. We've seen several bursts of convection throughout the day today. The only really thing right now, there's some dry air around it, but the only really thing is just all of that shear that is sitting up in this area up in here, moving off to the north and the east. So that's, I don't even want to say it's holding it back, but that's where we're at with it right now. So in Florida, let me sum this up. No need to worry if you're in the Florida area, okay? What's going on up here? There. That's not better. That's not that much better. It's a little bit better. But no need to worry in Florida at this point, okay? If you've got friends or family in the Leeward Islands, in Puerto Rico, in Hispaniola, give them a heads up. They'll know. They'll hear about it. But let them know Friday afternoon and evening in Leewards. Friday night, Saturday, more like Saturday, Puerto Rico, right? British Virgin Islands, Saturday morning. Puerto Rico, Saturday afternoon, evening. Sunday morning, Hispaniola. Sunday afternoon, Hispaniola. And then moving off towards the Turks and Caicos by Sunday night into Monday. Right now, it looks to be the timing. Natalie's in tonight, of course, as usual. She will have the latest at 11 o'clock tonight. So keep an eye on that on 10 Tampa Bay. Don't forget my YouTube page, Bobby Deskins Weather. I'm streaming on that right now. It does look like we will end up seeing this probably maintain tropical storm force strength at least through the upcoming weekend as it's moving over those islands. When it turns, whenever it turns Sunday night, Monday, we'll see what it does. May get a little bit stronger, small chance. But at that point, it should be hopefully turning east of the islands, at least most of the islands. Right now, it looks like the Turks and Caicos have to deal with it. But look, that would be Tuesday, Wednesday, so that's 6-7 days out. And a lot can change between now and then. Okay, guys, that's it. I hope you have a great Wednesday evening. I will be up early tomorrow. I will see you in there on the noon show and into the afternoon hours. Of course, I'll do another update here. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. Have a great rest